my name's Emily Kish. I'm doing my crisis management project on the Chipotle E. coli and foodborne illness outbreak that had been going on from 2015 to about 2017. They had multiple incidents of this occurring within their products, whether it be from like their guacamole to their meats to their lettuce. And Chipotle still has such a high rating of customers coming back. It just kind of makes you wonder like how far will people go for fresh, like for their foods, and are such diehard Chipotle fans that they risk like getting food poisoning and things that are like life threatening, such as E. coli. These were just some quotes I found from just like the CEO and the co-CEO of Chipotle. He said, "We take this incident very seriously because of the safety of our food and well-being of our customers is always our highest priority," said Steve Ells, chairman and co-CEO of Chipotle. "We are committed to taking any and all necessary actions to make sure our food is as safe as possible, and we are working diligently to help with health agencies." And then they just had another quote saying like their apologies, like that they didn't mean like to serve people these foods, and like they're trying to enhance their safety. I think it was like important that like they had their top dog kind of come out and be like, "I'm sorry for all these incidents that occurred," and like they didn't mean to do it. But then the fact that they came out with these and said like their apologies and they were taking like necessary actions to make it so it wouldn't happen again kind of makes those redundant, because it happened obviously a couple other times with different products. So clearly they were just kind of taking like whatever like ingredients like weren't top quality and just the cheapest options to manufacture in mass quantity, rather than really caring about the health of and like the things they were providing for their customers. So this is just kind of the background for how things happen. In late 2015, there was a series of E. coli breakouts at various Chipotle Mexican grill restaurants, including 11 Chipotle restaurants starting in Washington, Ohio, and Oregon. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention and the CDC had informed Chipotle that it identified 6 additional cases in which the initial testing matches the E. coli strain involved in the Washington and the Oregon incidents. According to the CDC, about 48 million cases of food-related illnesses happen in the U.S. annually, including 265,000 cases of E. coli. They believe this strain of E. coli was not from the lettuce recalls, but the Australian beef used for meat that was contaminated with bacteria. Chipotle claimed this was a new company they had been buying meats from starting in 2014. So they basically had a whole year without outbreaks from them. And the outbreak started occurring almost a year later. The Food Safety Inspection Services doesn't believe that the beef was the issue in this situation, because when testing E. coli, the meats not one shared a link with E. coli or bacteria. And then Chipotle was found by Steve Ellis in 1993 and is based in Denver, Colorado. And then it just kind of gives you background on Chipotle. And the news releases that they had in tied on their main website to these incidents that occurred. But I mean, it just kind of seems a little sketchy to me that Chipotle, like, there was recalls everywhere, and on my website and everything, there shows website or other things of like Trader Joe's recalling lettuce, and like even McDonald's recalling lettuce. So like obviously, like I remember like when that scandal happened, like we stopped buying romaine lettuce forever, but like Chipotle's only lettuce is that, and it's just shocking that they couldn't own up and do it themselves and say like these things are happening, and like yeah, like we are at fault. Like after the E. coli breakout and the avocado breakout in their guacamole, like they tried to blame it on their beef, and then like obviously like the FDA and like the CDC are all gonna come in and inspect all the things that have been done. So it was shocking that they like tried to kind of pull one over and blame it on something else when obviously they were going to be held under investigation. My blog, I called it Burrito Blues just because it really did. It set there were a lot of statistics that showed that Chipotle stock prices and their value really plummeted over the past couple years, and they're just starting to regain strength. And then I just thought that this was a cool Bloomberg cover, and it just says outbreak in Chipotle, get over food poisoning, and it shows like a burrito throwing up, which I thought kind of was funny to tie in with my title. And then it just shows like a graph like the Chipotle outbreaks with the E. coli in 2015, and then just like salmonella and like the different like viruses that they did contract. And then it's just another timeline going into 2016 of like how they kind of handled like it and like from like the CEO and like what like from a PR standpoint they did. And I just thought that was beneficial to the blog. And then it shows the links to Chipotle's social media. My blog just kind of goes into how like over the past like decades, like Chipotle was a brand, like pretty much a brand new company. Like they've only been around for about like 20 years, and they've already had three like food poisoning incidents, and that would shut most countries down. I know I was personally affected by it, and I got food poisoning from Chipotle, and I took a year off, but I still finding myself going back. So that was what my blog was a majority about. Is like why people feel that Chipotle is so important when there's like various other Mexican options, but they keep going back to Chipotle when they know every time they go in there they risk like getting sick and that like something bad could happen again. Like how are they building this brand of like customer loyalty to supply and like keep the demand rolling out when like even in crises where their food isn't like testing to be okay, people are still walking through their doors. And I just think, and then I kind of went into as a result of the outrage in November 2017, the CEO stepped down, which in most PR incidents, after so many recalls and events like that occur, usually the major CEO steps down, and like that's the like point it got to. And then the stock price went up to over 12% after the announcement of the change in them. So I think that's kind of when Chipotle realized they were had to take drastic measures and were kind of in trouble when they realized after the third incident of E. coli and food poisoning that they had to have their CEO step down. So I think that was like a drastic thing that like came about of these crisis incidents. And then I just kind of put the related posts and just like the outbreak and like the E. coli and the salmonella in the lettuce from Trader Joe's and McDonald's just to get another restaurant like quick food perspective and then a um grocery store perspective owning up to their things. But that's it. Thanks for listening.